And if I were to start my painting business again today, it would be the first hire that I would make before I hired any painters, before I hired a production manager, before I hired a sales rep, even before I hired an admin or a virtual, well, I might have a virtual assistant first, but before I hired any boots on the ground staff, I would hire this position. And that is...
Welcome to the Painter Growth Podcast, where we help you scale your painting company in record time. Join us as we explore sales, marketing, hiring, finances, leadership, and more, everything that you need to know to scale and grow your painting business. I hope you enjoy and subscribe.
What is up, everyone? Mike Hickman here, founder of paintergrowth.com, and you're listening to the Painter Growth Podcast. Thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate the support. If you have gotten any value out of any of these podcasts at any time, even a little bit of value, we would appreciate so much if you could just review us on whatever platform you're listening. If it's on YouTube, give us a subscribe. If it's on Spotify, give us a follow and a rating. If it's on Apple Podcasts, please give us a rating. It really, really helps. All right, that's the plug. So for today, what I want to do is help you hire the position that will add $1 million in sales to your business over the next year, if not more. Okay. It is one of the highest leverage recruits that you could possibly have. And if I were to start my painting business again today, it would be the first hire that I would make before I hired any painters, before I hired a production manager, before I hired a sales rep, even before I hired an admin or a virtual, well, I might have a virtual assistant first, but before I hired any boots on the ground staff, I would hire this position. And that is the field marketing manager. Now, what is this? This is the position that I bet many of you have never even heard about, let alone have in your business. If you have a field marketing manager in your business, you already know how incredible this is. But this one position can change your business and change your life. So what is it? Basically, a field marketing manager is not just a door-to-door marketer. They're not just going door-to-door for you, but they're your on-the-ground demand generator. When they're trained properly, they're going to become a predictable, self-sufficient source of high-quality leads on both the residential and the commercial side that feed your sales pipeline. They reduce your cost per lead and help you dominate your local market, right? This is what you'll be able to do, is have a boots on the ground dominator owning all forms of your local lead generation. Okay, so what do they do? Basically, number one, they're going to be generating predictable leads. Like by themselves, they'll be able to get 25, 30 plus leads per month. Once they scale their team, it's going to be in the hundreds per month. They're going to be owning and executing local campaigns. They're going to be tracking and reporting on marketing activities. They're going to be recruiting and leading a canvassing team. They're going to be doing their commercial outreach and setting meetings with strategic partners for you to create these vital relationships for your business, right? It's absolutely important to have this role. They're going to be able to change everything in your business. So first of all, let's just break it down. What do they do? How do we recruit them? And then how do we lead them and get them up and running? Okay. So let's start with what do they do? Now, early on, they're just going to do things like a canvasser would do. They're going to go door to door, but they're going to think in a systems mindset. How can I system this? How can I systemize this? How can I scale this? So they're going to go door to door. You're going to work with them. You're going to up level them, and you're going to get them to the point where they can generate leads on their own with their own door to door efforts. Okay. When you're recruiting for this person, you need someone who is hella motivated for money, very, very good attitude, wants to build, wants to grow, wants to do something big, doesn't just want to be door to door, is very responsible, very reliable. Sounds like a unicorn? Maybe. Actually not. There are a lot of people out there who want to make good money and who want to do something big. And this is an opportunity for someone to do something big while having fairly low risk. Why is it low risk? Because you're paying them a base plus commission on the leads that they generate. You know, if they were to go full risk, super high risk, they'd be starting their own business, but they don't want to do that. They want to do something big and make money while working for someone else, and they don't want to be limited by their upside. Now, with this role, you can pay them something motivating. It's going to change depending on the person that you're talking to, but say you started on them something, reasonable as a base, like $40,000 per year. This is like $3,500 per month, or even less than that. Actually, 40,000 divided by 12 is $3,300 per month. And you can pay them as a 1099, as a subcontractor to begin with until they're full time with you. But say you're paying them $3,300 a month base salary plus, $20 to $40 per estimate that they generate themselves, and then about half of that for anything that their team generates. So if they get to the point where they're bringing in 50 qualified leads a month at $40 a lead, That's 50 times 40 is 2,000 plus that 3,300 base. You're looking at $5,300 per month. Annualized, $5,300 is over $60,000 per month or per year. So for like a pretty part-time job, they're going to be able to make $60K a year. Now we scale it up. Let's say we get to the point where that guy is bringing in, guy or girl is bringing in 100 A quality leads per month from their efforts. Now that gets their earnings up to 7,300 per month. Okay, let's go back to 50 for a second because I think that's reasonable. And then let's say we pay $250 for every qualified strategic partner meeting, right? These are very important, very high level meetings with property managers, realtors, builders, GCs, interior designers, someone who can be a referral source, a potential relationship that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So for you to pay $250 for one of those, dirt cheap, 100% worth it. Say they get you 10 of those per month, right? That's just like 2 a week. So 10 times 250 is an extra 2,500. That gets them at 50 leads and 10 meetings. That's $7,800 per month of earnings. And you take that, you times that by 12, if that's their annual earnings, times it by 12, you're looking at $93,000 per year for this like 30-hour, 25 an hour a week role. This is really, really good money, especially if you can find the right person who's motivated, that fits it, that just jives with this role. So you're hiring for culture, you're hiring for attitude, you're hiring for hunger, drive, and their desire for money, okay? Once you find this person, you bring them on, you're going to want to train them. Like I said, first step in training them is going to be getting them comfortable getting residential leads on their own door to door. So set them up. If you want our door-to-door mini course, I will link that in the chat. You can get it for free. Get them in the right location, get them all the equipment that they need, the clipboard, the sheets, the flyers, everything that they need, and get them going and get them successful as soon as possible. It's your responsibility to make sure that they can see success early on in their journey. If they have a shift where they don't get any leads, you need to be out with them the next shift to make sure that they can be successful. Because as soon as they lose that motivation, they're going to quit, and we don't want that. We need them to be successful early on so that they can really fill in their shoes on this role. So number one, get them success early on. Get them hitting. Next is getting them hitting weekly targets. All right, your target is 10 estimates a week. And then now your target is 15 estimates per week. Okay, now what we're going to do is add in some strategic partner outreach. So here's what you're going to do. For the first 2 weeks, we're just going to focus on interior designers. So work with them, build that list, go on Google Maps, find that list of interior designers, use a spreadsheet, put them all there, and start outreaching to these strategic partners. Calling them every day or every couple of days until you can they start setting you meetings with interior designers. If you want to know what you need to say during these meetings with interior designers, we have a whole strategic partner meeting process within our Painter Growth community. Just reach out, mike@paintergrowth.com, and I'll let you know how you can get that. Just make the subject strategic partners. Okay. So really important that you do these meetings and you start seeding with these partners that you're the painter that is going to help them make their lives easier. Okay. 1 or 2 of these meetings isn't going to move the needle. But if you start doing 2 of these meetings every single week over the course of a year, that is 100 more strategic partners that you have. And all you need is one of them to hit, one of them to be a $100,000 partner. Heck, we have clients who have literally $1 million strategic partners because they get a whole subdivision community where they get the paint contracts for. But if you have 100 appointments and you get 5% of them to become strategic partners, and just small strategic partners, say $50,000 a year strategic partners. So we get, that would be 5% of 100 is 5 at $50,000. That's an extra $250,000 a year. So for you to have paid 100 times 250, 25,000, that's 10%. That would be a pretty low return on your investment. I think with this model, I think you'd be able to get way more than that if you had that many quality meetings, especially if your follow-up was really good. So you want this person to be responsible enough to be able to represent your company well. So that's why you do need a base. You can't just pay someone's salary, but good people want to work for good companies. So it's important for you to represent yourself really well. Be professional, have an onboarding package, have a really professional interview process so that you're showing them that you are a legitimate company. You're just not some dude slinging paint out of the back of his truck, right? Candidates, A-level people do not want to work for people who are disorganized, unorganized, okay? So get your stuff together, be organized, put your best foot forward, give them a good opportunity and help them be successful. All right. So the third step, after you have them going door to door successfully, they know how to get leads. They can hit your weekly targets on how many estimates they need. Then they know how to set strategic partner appointments for you. Now it is time to scale that role. Okay. Now you need to start bringing on, help them, first of all, help them recruit and train their own door to door teams. And if you can crack this code, if you can train someone to hire door to door marketers and train them on your behalf, this is the cheat code in your business to unlimited leads, because now you are no longer directly involved in the recruiting, hiring, training, and deploying of your door-to-door marketers. You have someone who you've already trained once. Now duplicate that to other guys. Yes, at the start, you're going to be, on an interview with them and helping them assess the candidates who are coming in to make sure that the people who they're hiring are the types of people that you would hire, or better than the types of people you would hire. Right. And in order for this person to be motivated to do that, they need to have a compensation structure that's directly aligned with their junior door-to-door marketers getting them estimates. So if, say, you want to pay you these simple door-to-door marketers pure commission, and you want to give them $50 an estimate, or you want to pay $50 an estimate. So pay the marketer, the new marketers, $40 per estimate, and then your field marketing manager gets $10 per estimate. So now the field marketing manager can go, they get their base, they get their commissions from everything else, and they now get a commission from the door-to-door marketers that are currently going out. It's kind of like a pyramid scheme, except we're providing real value to the community and they're not paid to recruit. It's just a commission waterfall type system. So now if your marketers go out and now he's overseeing 4 marketers, and you get 50 estimates in a week, and they get $10, that your guy gets $10 per estimate. Plus he generated 20 of his own, and he gets the $40 for that. That's $1,300 in the week, in the month. Plus there is $4,300 base, $3,300 base, plus all the strategic partner stuff that he's doing. They're going to be able to make $100,000 per year, right? And that's what we want. We want to create $100,000 role in your company and have this self-liquidating, have it make a ton more money, way more money than you would ever pay, come back to you as a result of having this role. Okay. So throughout this process, you need to make sure that your business is ready for it. So you need to have a CRM, right? You need to have the software. You need to have the target. You know where they're going to go. You need to be able to go door to door yourself before you start training someone else. You need to understand job site marketing, have lawn signs, have door hangers, maybe even get your painters going in there too. You want to stack the neighborhood marketing on top of each other so they can start compounding, right? You want to know how to reach out to strategic partners and book appointments with these types of partners, who your ideal partners are, what your value proposition is. And you want to know how to recruit and retain canvassers, so then you can train that as well. So there's a lot to do, but I promise you, if you work towards bringing on this role, bringing on a field marketing manager, it will change your life. If you have any questions about it, shoot me a message. Just say FMM in the subject line, mike@paintergrowth.com. Inside our community, we're actually going to be rolling out a field marketing manager accelerator where we are going to personally train your field marketing manager for 13 weeks. So if you're a Painter Growth member, let me know if you're interested in that. And if you're not, and you are interested in that, again, shoot me an email and I'll let you know what that's all about. So with that being said, thank you guys for listening. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Painter Growth Podcast. If you want to grow your painting business, go to www.paintergrowth.com or click on the top link in the description. Talk soon.